will be in session. The Honorable Mike Keeney presiding.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this special called meeting of Marshall County Commission. Of course, we're doing this electronically. We'll address that here in just 1 second. But at this time, Madam Clerk, if you would, please call the roll.
Commissioner Blackwell.
If you've muted, make sure you unmute your phone line, okay?
Commissioner Blackwell.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Dale.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Warner.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Childress. Commissioner Childress.
We're not hearing you, so unmute if you've muted your phone line, please.
Commissioner Childress. Commissioner Nichols.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner King. Commissioner King. Commissioner Murphy.
Here.
Commissioner Bauer.
Here.
Commissioner Neese.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Allen.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Davis.
Here.
Commissioner Hollingsworth.
Here.
Commissioner Ward.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Porch.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Cuevas. Commissioner Cuevas. Commissioner Cuevas. Commissioner Hopkins. Commissioner Hopkins. Commissioner White. Commissioner White. Commissioner White. Commissioner Childress.
And I know you were with us, but we're not hearing you. But if you can figure out the situation or unmute, we'd appreciate that. 13 present with Commissioner Childress not being heard. Is that correct, Madam Secretary? So we have 13 present. That is a quorum, and we will conduct our meeting here this evening. As we said, it's an electronic meeting in accordance with the Governor's Executive Order number 71, and as a reasonable measure to protect the safety and welfare of Tennesseans while ensuring that government business may continue in a manner that is open and accessible to the public. The Marshall County Commission has chosen to meet electronically this evening to protect the health, safety, and welfare of Tennesseans in light of the COVID-19 outbreak. You may recall from the earlier times of doing this back last spring and summer, we are doing this on audio conference as well as we're doing a live stream on YouTube. Both of these recordings will be posted to the county website, and we will have them up within 48 hours of the meeting here tonight. Our meeting is going to run as normal. The only difference is every vote tonight will be taken with a roll call, so please be ready when it's your turn to vote. As I said earlier to all of you, if you want to mute your phone when you're not speaking, that's fine, but do make sure you unmute so that we can hear you. I know at times somebody may talk over one another. We'll work through those situations as well, and hopefully we will get better at this as we try to relearn this. But I do appreciate all of you being here this evening and meeting with us. We felt the need was there that we do this to get some things done that needed to be done. So having said that, I need a motion to approve the executive order that we've just read.
Motion.
Commissioner Davis makes the motion that we do electronic meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
I heard Commissioner Porch seconds, and thank you. And again, please let us hear your name when you do make any type of motion or second. So is there discussion on this? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, if you would, please call the roll.
Commissioner Blackwell,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Dale,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Warner,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Nichols,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner King,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Byer,
Yes.
Commissioner Neese,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Allen,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hollingsworth,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Porch,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Childress.
Passes 13-0. So we will move forward with this electronic meeting. Our invocation tonight will be given by Reverend Claude McMillian, a retired minister here at the First Presbyterian Church in Lewisburg. That'll be followed by the Pledge to Allegiance, led by this evening by Commissioner Joseph Warner. If everyone would please rise where you are.
Let us pray. Gracious God, amid the turbulent times that we live in, may the members of the County Commission use the minds that you've given them to discern the best ways to meet the responsibilities set before them. With wisdom gained through experience, study of the issues, and thoughtful discussion, may they arrive at decisions not only in this hour, but in the times to come, to guide Marshall County in the ways that meet the needs of the people of our citizens and land. Be present with us in our personal lives, for each of us come with our own sorrows and joys. We need your comfort and your care and your guidance. Give us a promise of hope for the future, for better tomorrows. Lord, keep us free. Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first item this evening is Resolution 21-01-01. Commissioner Byer, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution 21-01-01 is a resolution approving a budget amendment for the General Fund 101. I so move.
Commissioner Byer makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second, Shell.
Commissioner Davis seconds the motion. Discussion? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Blackwell,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Dale,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Warner,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Nichols,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner King,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Byer,
Yes.
Commissioner Neese,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Allen,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hollingsworth,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Porch,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes. Commissioner White?
this is Commissioner White. I'm on here. I was having some difficulty. I'll vote yes on that one.
Okay.
Right there.
All right. So we got Commissioner White on recorded. And the resolution,
This is Anna, do you hear me now?
I hear Anna now, correct. Anna, would you like to vote on that?
Yes.
Commissioner Childers votes yes as well.
Yes.
Thank you. 15-0.
Yeah.
Resolution passes 15-0. Moving on, Resolution 21-01-02, Commissioner Byer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution 21-01-02 is a resolution approving membership in the HGAC by a National Purchasing Cooperative. I so move.
Commissioner Byer makes the motion. Is there a second?
Delk, second.
Commissioner Delk seconds the motion. Discussion. Hearing none. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Blackwell,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Dale,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Warner,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Childress. Yes. Commissioner Nichols,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner King,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Byer,
Yes.
Commissioner Neese,
Yes,
Commissioner Allen,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Hollingsworth,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Porch,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner White.
Yes.
Passes 15-0. Okay, next resolution, 21-01-03, Commissioner Byer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution number 21-01-03 is a resolution to amend the Marshall County Ambulance Service trip rates for calls. I so move.
Commissioner Byer makes the motion. Is there a second?
Commissioner White.
Commissioner White seconds. Discussion.
Yes, I got a question, it's Commissioner Blackburn.
Okay.
Where does this put us as far as comparison to other neighboring counties, as far as rate wise?
It puts us in line with everybody up to date. There's only one or two counties that are above us at this time now with our rates going up.
And they did a comparison study with counties around us. EMS committee had the meeting. They saw John had presented that to them. I think Budget had it here last week. And what Commissioner Hollingsworth just said, there's some counties that are going to be higher than those rates, and there's going to be some counties that are lower. But I think all things considered, we're in line. And if I remember correctly, and committee members correct me, I think John Reese made the comment. First time we've increased the rate since 2014.
That is correct.
Yes.
That's correct. That is correct.
Any other questions or discussion?
Yes, one more. Is it where we need to be? I mean, I'm not saying too high. Are we just going with a comparison? I mean, or how do we come up with this figure? I mean, I guess my question is it enough to cover, we're looking to cover since we're going up on the cost?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'll address that. This is Mickey King. We increased it 2% for every year that we did not increase it. If that's right, isn't it, Keith? You made that motion.
That's correct. Yes, it is.
And we're right in line with the other counties. And we made the suggestion that we increase every year 2%. But that's not in this resolution, so we'll probably increase it every year 2% from this point on.
How much are they looking to generate additional?
We did not look at that way. We noticed that our spread in between revenue and expenses were beginning to gap pretty good, and this should close the gap back closer together. Now, we didn't try to close the gap all the way.
Any other questions or discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
that's for
Yes, sir.
on this schedule,
the 2020 Medicare fee, is that what the Medicare is charged, and then does the patient, whatever, make up the difference of what the proposal is on the rate?
That is the Medicare rates for this year. And I want to be careful not to misspeak because EMS sometimes is a little different than other healthcare, but most of the time, Medicare, what you get for Medicare is what you get for Medicare.
Will it be, I mean, will the county take that, or will the person still be responsible to pay the other part?
My understanding is now, and Mickey, do you recall that? I'm trying to remember what John said there. And I don't know if John's.
If they have a supplement policy,
Yep.
it will pay, but if they just total Medicare, that is all we will get. If I'm not mistaken.
And we will not pay for that.
No.
That's correct.
Thank you, that's all I got.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Hearing none, we'll call the roll.
Commissioner Blackwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Dale,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Warner,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Childress. Yes. Commissioner Nichols,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner King,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Byer,
Yes.
Commissioner Neese,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Allen,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Davis.
Yes.
Commissioner Hollingsworth,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Porch,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner White.
Yeah.
Passes 15-0. Our last resolution is 21-01-04. Commissioner King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution 21-01-04. State acquisition of Martin Methodist College, establishing a fourth undergraduate campus of the University of Tennessee system. I so move.
Commissioner King makes the motion to approve. Is there a second? Commissioner Davis. Commissioner Davis seconded. Thank you. Discussion. Legislative Committee did approve this in a meeting just before this meeting here earlier tonight. So any discussion or questions? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Blackwell,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Dale,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Warner,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Childress. Yes. Commissioner Nichols,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner King,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Byer,
Yes.
Commissioner Neese,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Allen,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Hollingsworth,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Porch,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner White.
Yeah.
Passes 15-0. Any announcements anybody like to make at this time? I will let you know one thing, because on a special call, of course, we have to stick to the agenda. We can't veer from it at all. But under announcements, some of you may be getting questions about the vaccine distribution phase here in the county. And let me tell you, this is an ongoing fluid situation. Marshall County, we are now in what we call the second phase, plus we're doing the 75 and over population. The way it's done now changed yesterday afternoon, was implemented today, where those that want to get a vaccination that qualify in those categories, it's now done by appointments. And our understanding is it will be an online process, and it possibly a phone in as well. That's coming from the state. That's not local. That's coming from the state. And so we will let you know more information when we learn more information how that process is going to work. Today was strictly a phone in to the health department. We had doses to give, and they pretty much did that through a drive-through on the facility. We had a session Saturday that we were able to put a lot of shots in arms. We're very happy about that. But again, everything we had talked about had been a drive-through process. Again, the direction came down to make it a walkthrough for that day. So people actually had to come in. They wanted to make sure they checked for anaphylaxis and not have any situations there. That led to some long lines. If you've heard about those, people standing outside, certainly not ideal, certainly not optimal, and it certainly wasn't what we had planned on doing. But again, following directions, that's the way it had to be. Moving forward, and we're going to do so in the next day or two. We're just waiting now from the state to come down and they move the tent. We're going to move all our testing and vaccines out to Preston Hopkins Field. That gives us more room out there. It gets us off the roadways. It gets people more space, and we will enter through the Recreation Center entrance off the Morrisville Highway. We'll come down to the football field through the gates. The tent will be set up out there behind the concession stand area. And then our folks, after they wait their allotted time to make sure they don't react, will be able to leave, and they'll leave through the White Drive gate. So it's kind of one way in, one way out. So if you get questions, that's what we have up to the minute right now. But this thing is very fluid, and it can change. Certainly, it changed 3 times this morning. So just letting you be aware. And if anybody has questions, we don't have all the answers, I promise, but we'll do our very best. They can call the office. Of course, they could call the health department. And as we find out exactly how this process is going to go down going forward with this appointment type schedule, we'll certainly pass that along. And I'm sure some of you have heard things. I'm sure some of you have had questions. And I assure you, this is our health department, along with EMA, they have really, really worked extremely hard these last few days trying to go through this process. Anything else anybody like to discuss? If not, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Commissioner Hollingsworth makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second, Commissioner Nichols.
Commissioner Nichols seconds. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Blackwell,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Dale,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Warner, Commissioner Warner, Commissioner Childress. Yes. Commissioner Nichols,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner King,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Murphy,
Yes.
Commissioner Byer,
Yes.
Commissioner Neese,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Allen,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Hollingsworth,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Porch,
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Warner.
Motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. Whew, that is like.
So I like to get your over there. It's like, I keep forgetting you're over there, and I'm like yelling, and you're like, here, yes, sorry.